much for clicking on this video. Hope you're having an awesome day. Thanks for taking some time every day to hang out with me. Today's video is a collab hosted by the beautiful Riri, and it is a North Carolina collab. She reached out to some other fellow North Carolinian content creators, and I'm so excited to be a part of this collab. I thought it was a really unique idea because we're going to be creating some looks based off of North Carolina, kind of just talking to you guys what it means to us. Probably not a shocker here. I'm going to try to do a Carolina Hurricanes inspired look and just share with you guys my hockey experience. I will leave my collabs playlist to watch previous collabs, and if you're visiting from any of their channels, welcome. Thank you so much for checking me out. I hope you subscribe and give this video a like before you leave. Originally, I was looking at the Canes' logo. I'm like, oh, this should be easy. And then the more I looked into it, I'm like, it's a little bit more intricate than I thought it was. Hopefully it will turn out okay. I'm a little nervous for it, and I usually don't talk much during this. It might be a voice overlay, which I haven't done before. For these really detailed looks, I need maximum concentration. Otherwise, the hand is gonna do what the hand is gonna do. I'm gonna be taking the Lunar Beauty Life's a Drag palette as well as the Nomad Express. Really gotta dive into Roaring 20s. I think that's gonna be a beautiful Carolina Hurricanes red. They also have a white glove as well, and there is white in their logo. Mainly just diving into Lunar Beauty for their beautiful matte black shade, Shady, right here. Oh girl, and it is hot today. I thought fall was around the corner and we have a heat advisory. But I think I'm gonna start with the eye and then work out. Hopefully that's gonna be the best approach. Failed attempt on my eye. Let's just try it on the cheeks. this was a lot more challenging than I thought it was going to be. I originally tried doing it on my eyes. I'm glad that I moved it to my cheek. I should have put it like a little bit lower because I have like a new idea what I want to do on my eyes. It's okay. I still think it'll work out. It looks pretty simple, and then you try to draw on your face and you're like, what is happening? And I think for like the other two eyes, I think I'm going to do one eye like Colorado inspired and then the other one Pittsburgh Penguin. And we're going to dip into the shade Golden Age and pretty much just put it all over the place. So the whole hockey thing kind of started out back in the day with Griffin inviting me to one of his hockey games. He played inline in college, and I made up like every excuse to not go to any of his games. So it wasn't until we moved to the area, and Griffin, growing up in South Carolina, he never really had many pro sports around him, where I grew up in Florida and there's like all like the professional basketball, baseball, football. So it really wasn't anything new to me, and I don't know, I've just never really been like huge into sports. I mean, horseback riding was more my thing, and I played a little bit of basketball in middle school, but that was like the extent of it. So when we moved here, that's when Griffin started picking hockey back up. He was watching some of the games. Like, I even recall one time we were out to dinner one night, and I remember the Penguins were playing some game in like the Stanley Cup playoffs. He tried getting me into it a couple years ago when the Canes made it to the playoffs for the first time in X amount of years, and my boy Brock kept the guys in with the game-winning goal in like, what was it, double overtime or something? It was something crazy. You would think then I would become a Brock fan. No. It didn't take it until this current season, the 2019-2020, when they were playing the Columbus Blue Jackets. Griffin had the game on. It was an away game, and Brock got nailed in the face by a puck. Normal people would probably be like, ooh, ow, that must have hurt, and I laughed. I thought it was just really funny because he was like bitching at the refs because he drew blood, and they should give like a 4-minute or 5-minute penalty as opposed just to the 2 minutes that caused it. So, and I was like, Griffin, who is this? He's like, it's Brock again. I've told you about him like 10 times. And I'm like, okay, well, I really wasn't paying attention to those past 10 times. And I'm like, you don't really hear his name. You always hear 37 and 20, which are Andrei Svechnikov and Sebastian Aho, really talented, amazing players in the league. I was like, you know what? I'm going to become the biggest Brock McGinn fan. And I have been obsessed ever since. But prior to that, I was more along the lines of, oh, I'm going to be a Penguins fan, because Penguins are just adorable. And I didn't realize when I chose the Penguins as like my favorite team that literally one of like the best players in the entire league is on that team. Also like one of the most hated players for whatever reason, I don't know. From what I've seen, he seems like a pretty genuine person, aka Side Chick Sydney. And now, since the Canes have been knocked out of the playoffs, I've been a little bit focusing on another team, kind of like cheating on the Canes. Sorry. Prior to them being in the playoffs, though, because one of the players has the same last name as me, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I want to get this jersey because it has my last name on it. Didn't realize, once again, that they were actually a pretty good team, the Colorado Avalanche. And they also have arguably one of the best players in the league as well, which has really grown on me, which I am starting to call him Nate Mabe. And then there's adorable sweet baby Kale on the team as well. So that has been my third team. I am stressed because they have to go into game number 7, and it's either gonna be them or the Dallas Stars advancing. I really hope it's the Avalanche. They deserve it. They've been working their ass off. Didn't think I would get this obsessed with hockey. It all started with Brock. You'd think I would just leave it at one team. No, I have 3. Also, it was hard being a Penguins fan not being in Pennsylvania because we didn't get all the games. Literally the day before quarantine was supposed to be the Canes Penguins game. Talk about heartbreak. I was absolutely crushed. Like a month before quarantine happened, we saw the Avalanche, but I wasn't really paying attention to them until the playoffs. And that's when Nathan and Kale really grew on me. Ironically, one of Pittsburgh's colors is yellow. We all know how much I love yellow. Prior to hockey, watching sports is just to look at the cute guys. And hockey doesn't have like the cutest guys, but like Brock helps. And I think it's just kind of funny because Griffin did not know me during like the embarrassing phase of being a teenager. I was obsessed, like obsessed with Joe Jonas from the Jonas Brothers and Sinister Gates from Avenged Sevenfold. I know, two completely polar opposite human beings. Talk about fangirl crazy, and I think that is what is translating with hockey. It's like, okay, got Brock, got Sydney, Chris Letang, Nathan McKinnon, and Sweet Baby Kale. I mean, even like Sebastian Aho and Andrei Svechnikov, they are just adorable. And they're also so nice. I still haven't met Brock yet, which I am so sad. Favorite player, haven't even met yet, but I have met a couple of other players because sometimes after their practice, they'll hang out and take pictures with you, autograph stuff. So that's been a really cool experience. There was one time after practice and we met them, we were like, oh, let's just go to Costco because it's right there. Let's go stock up on things before you can't find them no more, like toilet paper. And we're like, well, we still have to go grocery shopping because like we picked up a couple things from Costco and there's a Harris Teeter down the road. Lo and behold, now mind you, this is like an hour and a half, 2 hours after the practice, we see one of the players grocery shopping. And of course, when Griffin says, don't stare, I'm gonna stare because I'm curious. Like, you're giving me a reason to stare by saying, don't stare. And he said, Nino is here, one of the players, and he's grocery shopping. And of course, I'm just like, where? And he was like, way to be stealth. And I'm like, but you told me not to stare. And I'm like curious. This is like now being a fan, and like, not that I'm gonna be all like, oh my gosh, like complete like embarrassing fangirl, but I think it's cool to see them outside. It's not like I was gonna bother them. We just saw them at practice, but I just wanted to be able to say that I have seen them type thing. We didn't say anything. We just let him shop in peace. I did plan on getting season tickets for the next season, and then COVID. So we're supposed to find out exactly what is going to happen after the playoffs are done. And I'm just like, hopefully they will have some safety protocols in place. I still really want to see the Canes versus the Penguins and Avalanche, especially now that I'm like paying attention to them. And they're my two other teams. And I do have Penguins and Avalanche jerseys. I want to be able to wear those at the game. I know, I feel like I'll be betraying Brock. That's what he gets for me not meeting him yet, slash him tossing me over a puck. It's okay, I won't give up. Wish the Penguins had a little bit better colors. I'm just like, don't really want to smoke it out with black, but I guess yellow will do. And then Lunar Beauty for the other side. Let me know in the comments below if you guys are into sports and do you guys follow hockey? Who is your favorite hockey team? I would love to know and geek out with you in the comments below. And this is the final look. I had a lot of fun creating this. I feel like this definitely fits my mood right now with it being the playoffs, and this logo was definitely a lot more challenging than I had expected, but just by looking at it. And I really like how the Colorado eye turned out. I really like their colors, and I'm just getting used to like this monochromatic yellow look because we all know how much I love yellow. Hopefully the Penguins are helping me love the color even more. I would love to know if you guys are into hockey. Don't forget to let me know your favorite team and player down below. And if you were to do a state-inspired collab based off of where you live, what would you have done? I'm really excited to see how the other ladies' looks turned out. There'll be a playlist in the description below to check out their looks. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and if you don't, I appreciate your view anyways, and I'll see you in the next video.